This video is sponsored by Naked Wines. What's on the menu today? Some smoked leg of lamb with tzatziki sauce and tabouli. Yeah, we're going to put all that together in some nice pita and have a great meal tomorrow. Today we got to get our lamb marinated. Now I have a boneless leg of lamb here. This is about a 4.5, 5 pound leg of lamb. And I want to get it out of the netting because we need to check and see if the scent gland is removed. If you've never done this, there's a gland in the leg of lamb. If you leave it in there, it's not the best thing. And about half the time when I buy a boneless leg of lamb that's been cut and the bone removed and trussed up like this, the gland is still there. So we got to check. We got to open up here. And it looks like we are lucky. It looks like they removed it. So we got lucky. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our marinade ready for this. Then we're going to season it up and tie it back up. So for our marinade, we're starting with 3 heaping tablespoons of minced garlic. This is probably 5, maybe 6 medium garlic cloves that have been diced up. We've got a teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1¼ teaspoons of kosher salt, a tablespoon of dried oregano, and a teaspoon of freshly chopped up rosemary. This is from my garden. You can get fresh rosemary at the store. Using fresh in this recipe really helps. If you don't have fresh, you can use dry, but try and get fresh. Next up, 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil and 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. We're gonna mix this together. All right, let's get our lamb over here. Now you could just put this on the outside, but because we have a boneless leg of lamb, I want to get this marinade both inside and outside. Pour some on right here. Really want to rub it in. Turn this over. Now we're going to get really generous. And we'll get the rack back in here later. I want to roll it around in there. All right, time to tie this back up. Just using some kitchen string, and I am definitely not an expert roast tire. I do the best I can. I like to get one in the middle first just to get us going. And I want to go end to end because we have this sort of flap over here. I know all you professional roast tires out there are laughing at me, but like I said, I do the best I can. Just need to keep it together while it's roasting. It ain't pretty, but it's going to work. Let's get our rack back here. And I'm going to let it rest like this so any of that marinade that's in the center that we folded up will stay in there, won't just sort of drip out here. And now this is going in the refrigerator overnight, and tomorrow I'll see you out at the Weber Kettle. All right, the Weber Kettle is up to temp. My target today is 250 degrees. I'm using the Mallory Firewall and the Mallory Cast Iron Grate. And in a minute, we're going to put a chunk of hickory on. Yeah, I'm going to use hickory today. Usually I'll use something like olive wood, but want to do something a little different with this just to mix it up a bit. Now also, you'll notice that the string pattern on my lamb is a little different because when I checked it last night, one of my really lousy knots had come undone and it was just sort of flapping there. So I retied it last night. But it's time to get this on the grill. Let me get my temperature probe in here. And today I'm going to be pulling this at 125 degrees and resting for about 15 or 20 minutes. Get our chunk of hickory on here. And we're going to get our lid on, get smoking on this really warm spring day. It's about 90 degrees, kind of breezy, but it's really feeling good and it's going to smell great out here. So we'll come back and check this in about an hour and see how we're doing. In a minute, we're going to run inside and get our tzatziki and our tabouli ready. But first, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Naked Wines. Naked Wines connects you with the world's best independent winemakers, cutting out the middleman so you can enjoy amazing wines delivered straight to your door for up to 60% less. Your membership, along with more than 300,000 others, allows winemakers to do what they do best: craft top quality wines without expensive sales markups common to the marketplace. You get better wine for your dollar, and Naked Wines will even tailor recommendations for you based on your ratings, like your own personal sommelier. Shop on your terms with no tie-ins or hidden fees. And if you order through the link in the video description, you'll get $100 off your first case of wine. Thanks again to Naked Wines for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel. Now, while our lamb is smoking out there, we're going to go ahead and get our tzatziki and our tabouli ready. And we're going to start with the tabouli. I have 2 cups of flat leaf parsley that's been chopped up. Is my mixing bowl going to be too small? I don't know. Let's see. I have 1 cup of diced tomatoes. I have 1/4 of a medium red onion that's been chopped up or kind of diced up. Next up, 2 tablespoons of fresh mint that's been chopped up. Now, first up, for my wet ingredients, I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of lemon juice. Next up, about 1/2 cup of olive oil. I also want to give this a good pinch of kosher salt and a good pinch of some ground black pepper. And we're going to mix this up. So far, my bowl is not doing a bad job here. I mean, it could be larger, it'd probably make it easier to mix, but I've used far smaller bowls to make larger amounts. Let's get a little taste here, see if we need to adjust for anything. It does need a little more salt. Another good pinch. Fresh spoon, another quick taste. That's it. Now I'm going to put this in a container and cover it and put it in the refrigerator, and we're going to move on to making our tzatziki. Now for the tzatziki, I'm starting with 2 cups of strained Greek yogurt. If you don't get the strained Greek yogurt, it has a lot more of the water, the liquid still in it, and it can get a little bit thin, so I like using the strained yogurt. To this, I'm going to add 2 cups of peeled and diced cucumber. Now this is about half of a large English cucumber, and what I did is I laid it in a plate and pressed out the water with some paper towels. Some people like to salt the cucumbers to remove the water. I don't find that necessary personally. Next up, about 1 teaspoon of lemon zest, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and 1 tablespoon of fresh chopped mint. We're just going to mix this up. There will be still some more liquid come out of the cucumbers, so that's why I really like to use that strained Greek yogurt, because you are already going to add some more liquid in here. You have the lemon juice and any residual moisture in the cucumbers. And I like a chunky tzatziki sauce. Some people like to actually grate the cucumbers, which is good, but I like it chunkier like this. If you have a favorite recipe for either the tzatziki or the tabouli, you want to share it, drop it in the comments below. After I get this mixed, we're going to add a little bit of salt here, and then we'll give it a taste. Give it a really good pinch of kosher salt here. Give it another mix. Taste here. Super, super refreshing. This is going to go great with our lamb. All right, let's head back out to the grill and wait for our lamb to be done. We've been going 1 hour. It's smelling really good here. Let's go ahead and take a look, see if we need to spritz. I don't have a pan with any water in there today. I just wanted to let it go like this. I kind of want that outside to, it's not necessarily crust up, just dry out a little bit, because a lot of times you'll have people that sear the outside of the lamb. I'm not a huge fan of that when you've got a crust up piece of lamb, but works well with a leg of lamb when you're not like having boneless. But let's go ahead and take a look, see if we need to spritz. Liking that color. That's looking good. I do think I want to spritz though. and I'm just using plain water. So we'll get the lid back on, let it keep going. We'll come back in another hour if we haven't hit that 125 internal. Check it then and see if it's smelling as great as it does now. See you back here in a little bit. All right, we are at the 2-hour mark. Temp has been holding really steady right around 250. Our internal temp is 95 degrees, so we got about 30 degrees to go. Let's take a look at our boneless leg of lamb, see if we need a spritz. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that color. That is looking really good. Do want to give it another light spritz with just plain water. So we're going to close this up again, and I will bring you back when we hit that 125 internal. See you back here as soon as we're done. All right, we've been going 2 hours and 45 minutes. We are just about to hit 125 internal. Let's get our lamb off of here. It's looking gorgeous. That's going inside, and it's going to rest for about 15 to 20 minutes before we slice in. All right, here is our boneless leg of lamb. I just love the color. You know, you have the fat that kind of shows when the other part pulls back. That's normal. And now it's time to get the string off so we can slice in. And my dog believes that this is for him. It's not. He can think that, though. We'll give him another treat later. Get all of our strings out of here. See if we're going to have a juice-a-lanch on my synthetic cutting board. I moved that here so my wood one doesn't get completely drenched, but it may still. Do you want to make an appearance, Mac? Come here. I don't know if anyone can see you. They can see your tail. Look up here. Look over here. Come over here. Say hi. Okay, that's Mac. All right, let's slice in. There we go. Oh, yes. Right in the center, that perfect rare, medium rare. That's what I want. Now I'm going to cut some slices so we can build something with our pita bread. It's not technically a gyro. This isn't gyro meat, it's lamb, but you know what? Close enough. I'm going to try and get some thin slices here that we can cut up even more. So at the center, you're going to have the most close to rare, and the further out you get, not as rare. I think that's enough to start. And with my hugely oversized slicing knife, I'm going to cut up some of our slices. I use this slicing knife for this because it's thinner than my regular chef's knife, and I just like the way it glides through meat when it's, say, medium rare. So we're just going to cut it up so it kind of mimics that gyro cut that you might get. All right, let's fill some pita bread. Now I have 2 pieces of pita bread in my 4-piece holder here. This is a taco pita bread holder. And we're just gonna fill these with some lamb. And when I say fill, I think I'm gonna mean fill. Like, I wanna cram it in here. Then some of our tzatziki. I know there's a Z in there, I just can't get that out. Tzatziki. It's a very full pita, but we'll fit some tabouli too. And some tabouli. There we have it. Our pita filled with smoked boneless leg of lamb with our homemade tzatziki sauce and tabouli. This is great. Time to dig in. And today we're going to be pairing it with a Pinot Noir from Fernando Candelario. I am going to take this pita right here because, I don't know, this one's my favorite. Cheers. This is delicious. My dog hasn't tasted anything, and he's over there whining because he can smell it. It is amazing. This is sort of that quintessential Easter meal where you're going to be smoking lamb. But I got to tell you, something like this goes for almost any holiday. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Arbor Day. Why not? The lamb turned out super tender, super juicy, nice smoke flavor from that hickory. Everything in this little pita package works to bring the flavor for this meal. Let's see how this Pinot pairs with our lamb. That is like really smooth and light, perfect for a warm spring day like this, or I can especially see this in summer. I want to thank Naked Wines again for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel. And remember, check out the link in the video description below. You'll get $100 off your first case if you purchase through it.